good, thanks.
Well, what do you make out of that?
Oh, well, I'll probably get on to us, but firstly, I mean, Richmond looked really sharp. I thought they... usually premiership teams go one of two ways. They either roll on and improve, or they regress a little bit. But yeah, they looked probably even sharper than last year, which is real credit to them. They should be behind a bit in their preparation, given a late start to pre-season. But they were very good against Essendon, and then much too good for us tonight. So, mind you, we didn't help ourselves with some of our ball use, but we know that's the journey we're on and improving that, and you can't just click your fingers and get that done overnight. So we've got to keep working on our skill level, because if we keep making mistakes like that, a lot of those are hard to defend, and Richmond did a really good job of punishing us in that part of the game tonight.
We started well. It was a promising start, but then just obviously, was it just that their pressure constantly for 4 quarters?
Oh, I think they pressure. It's not just pressure on us, it's the pressure that they put on you, challenging your defence, and they did that really well. But I thought, the first quarter and a half is what we want in terms of our intensity and pressure. And even throughout the course of the game, I think we are +8 in contested possession, +7 in clearances. So the contested part of the game was okay, but we got badly beaten on turnover. And I think they're as good a team as going around at the moment at punishing the opposition when they make mistakes. So, and they force them. So that's what we've got to work on absorbing. But the first quarter and a half is what we want to see on a regular basis, and the challenge for us is to sustain that over 4 quarters.
The guys seem to go for the corridor a lot, even though the turnovers are happening. Are you encouraged by that style of play? Yeah, well, look, I think that our view is that we want to develop a game style that's capable of challenging the best teams in the competition. And we understand that there's a risk involved in that too. But, we could, and even in tonight's game, we probably could have just thought, well, let's just try and hold up here for a while. But, the question we've got to keep asking ourselves, is that going to expedite our development? We want to keep taking the game on. I think if we do that and limit the mistakes that we make, then a lot of those players turn into 12-point players where we score and they don't.
The decision to go you two ruckman either half, is that an indication that it's one or the other?
Oh, we're being dictated by the way the game's being played at the moment to a certain extent. I mean, we'd love to say that we can change the way AFL footy's being played and play. You include Ben Brown, who's a 200-centimetre forward. It's just very, very difficult to play multiple big guys. And that's unfortunate for ruckman, but it's just a reality at the moment. So, that's probably the way we see it, that it's potentially one. But then again, they both keep going really, really well. Then, we'll look at certain games where we do play two.
How did you see Goldie look to be a bit sort of more back to his old self a bit?
Yeah, whenever he's impacting the scoreboard and looking dangerous, that's always a good sign that he's playing with a bit more proactivity than last year. He was a bit reactive to what the opposition were doing, and we really need him to get on the front foot and give us first use. And I thought he showed some really promising signs. And then Brucey in the second half was pretty dominant around stoppages. So the quandary continues.
It's going to be tough for one of them, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah. As I said, unless they're just going so well that we think there's certain opposition where we can play both of them.
As far as getting some minutes into your younger players, what encouraged you tonight?
Yeah, I thought we played Tom Murphy. In fact, we played 22 all night, so we rolled when we took guys off. We rolled other guys in, but we didn't roll 6 or 7 or 8 through the bench. So we wanted to get full game time into the majority of players. So Tom Murphy played the second half. I thought he looked pretty composed, did some pretty good things. Luke Davies-Uniacke took another step forward. It's always a bit of a shock to young guys. Even when they've got time at junior level, that time gets quickened up a fair bit in AFL level, particularly against a really good pressure side. But I thought he absorbed that pretty well. So, that was pleasing. And, there are some other guys in defence that haven't played much, and Ben Jacobs back playing again, who hasn't played for a long time. So, there are some positive signs in terms of our list availability, and, we've just got to keep working.
How do you tighten up that defence? I mean, both teams have scored 120 points against you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can. I mean, you can do that very, very quickly. The question we've got to keep asking ourselves is, does that help us in the long term? I mean, clearly we've got to defend better, but at the moment, it's not necessarily, or most of the time, it's not poor defence; it's the inability to defend turnover. So we could sort of have a bit more vanilla ball use, and that would improve straight away. But again, we want to play a style that's capable of beating the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.